Hey everyone, welcome back to another interesting video, or if you're listening on podcast, another interesting podcast episode about vision boarding. I literally just completed this vision board workshop for general participants and my team. Every year I do it as a team activity to help my team members basically plan their annual income, set some goals, health, wealth, relationships, all the jazz. But this year, I just advertised this on my social media, and we had some amazing participants join. So I'm going to be sending this as a recorded version for participants who missed the live session, and this is also for people who have never tried vision boarding or would love to try vision board. So if this is your first time you're coming across me, my name is Dr. Priya Jagannathan, and I own two companies, one in Australia called Pivot to Thrive, which is a CRM and business automation agency. And then I've got another company called VA Agency, which is a virtual assistant training and placement company based in India. And I manage, my VAs based out of India. They work from home. And it's something that I do as a passion to help Indian women become financially independent. Okay, so this workshop, we're going to look at different aspects of vision boarding. So there's going to be a lot of exercises. So if you're listening to it on podcast, I would highly recommend going back, taking a pen and paper, and doing these exercises along with me so you don't waste time, and you can do it simultaneously. Just pause the episode and do the tasks. There are lots of resources given in the description or the show notes below, so you can literally access a planner, you can access templates for vision board, a mobile template, which I highly recommend. So all of these are available to you. So all you have to do is just use it, as simple as that. Okay, so let's start with a little bit of reflection. So it's always good to check what worked for you and what didn't work for you. What were the challenges you faced, and what is something you're grateful for? So, in terms of reflection, these are the three key things that I'm focusing on. The very first thing is, what was one word that you will use to summarize your entire 2024? For me, it was very chaotic. Chaotic was my word. It was good in a way, but it was very chaotic. Too much travel, too many plans, pivoting to a new niche and starting from scratch and scaling and growing a team. It was massive. And thank you to universe that I'm super grateful for 2024. It has been my best year in terms of health, wealth, and relationship, but it was very chaotic. So that's how I would summarize it. Chaotic does not mean it's bad. And then I want you to write down three things you're grateful for, because every time you're starting something, start from a place of gratitude. Everyone has at least one thing to be grateful for at any given point in time, which is just to be alive. If you're going to be given $1 million, but tomorrow you're not going to wake up, you're not going to take that $1 million, which means your life is worth much more than $1 million, but you just don't realize it and appreciate it enough. So start from a place of gratitude. Write three things you're grateful for just in 2024, just this one year, what you're grateful for. But we've also had challenges. I don't think life is just a linear graph. So, what are the challenges you face this year that you will try and work so you make sure you don't repeat that same challenge in the new year? For me, it was a work plus holiday kind of a scenario. So, when I went to India in June and July this year, I killed myself working, right? So I'm grateful that I had something called business. Even though I stepped out of the country, I stopped networking from March. So I was really worried that I'm not going to have any leads or clients or cash flow. But I killed myself working, which is a good thing. But then it affected my family life balance. I mean, I don't believe in family life balance. I call it priorities. So whatever is required that takes up the most priority at any given point in time. So I think my priorities were equally high for both family and work. So that's why I had a problem with that. So possibly in the new year, my lesson is having a laptop free holiday, meaning having my team and systems in place in such a way that I can take myself out of the equation and actually enjoy a holiday and not work during my holiday. So that's going to be my plan for 2025. I'll definitely keep you in the loop on how I go with that one. Okay. So take the next 5 minutes to write down how you want to summarize your entire 2024, three things you're grateful for, And what's one or more important lessons you learned in 2024 that you're going to carry it forward in 2025? So once you're done with that, I want you to set the intention for 2025. When I say setting the intention for 2025, it always starts with the word. So one word. One of my good friends, Shanti, she introduced this to me back in 2022. And since then, I've been doing this exercise. And when you have one word, every action that you do, every plan that you make, everything that you do that year that comes back to that one word. So choose it very carefully. You can change it whenever you want, but you have to set the intention right. So for me, 2025, the word for 2025 is focus. I'm so distracted. I don't have shiny object syndrome anymore, thank God, but I still struggle with lots of distractions. So I just need focus. Okay, so my word for 2025 is focus. And then we can break down to what you want to achieve, why is this important, and how will you achieve this. But I've got next few slides. I've got a slide where I'm going to break it down into health, wealth, and relationships. So in this slide, what I want you to do is just set one word for 2025. What's your word for 2025? Now, before I go on and teach you how to set goals, I want to mention the most common mistake people do while setting goals. Okay. I actually did a workshop, I think in mid 2022, like the end of financial year, how not to set goals. Okay. Everybody teaches about goal setting, how to set goals, smart goals. We've got so many different things. But I taught about how not to set goals. And this was a very interesting slide that I wanted to plug in here today, that most of the goal setting is based on mimetic desire, meaning it's based on what other people want. Just because someone else bought a house, you buy a house. Just because someone decided to choose a career, you force your child to choose the same career, right? So you don't put your interests first, but you actually choose a goal or want something based on others' desires or what the society wants and things like that. And this is the main reason why it fails, because you really don't want it so badly enough. I've seen a lot of clients who fail or who don't succeed enough as they should because they just want to prove to their husbands or they just want to prove their mother in law wrong or something like that. Very silly, not really what they want to do. Entrepreneurship is really, really hard because you don't have a boss to report to. I mean, you are your own accountability buddy. Like I can sleep till 10 a.m. in the morning, no one cares. But why do you wake up at 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock and grind and then go till 2 a.m. in the morning when nobody's questioning you? Because that's very, very important. You are working on something that you really want. You have that burning desire. It's your vision, it's your dream. And most women, especially Indian women, have so much of mental, dependence on the husbands, thinking the husband should love their dream as much as they love their dream. I tell them it's your dream, it's your vision, it's not your husband's. He's not going to understand, right? It's not wrong because your husband, your partner, your parent, your child, they are individuals with their own priorities, needs, and desires. And you cannot expect them to have the same needs, desires, and priorities as you. This is where there is a problem. So from 2022, we are doing an activity called family vision boarding. So, what we do is what I'm doing exactly today. My husband, myself, and my kids, each of us will take an A3 sheet of paper and do our individual vision board, whatever we want. Okay, kids, they'll have some stickers, some things they want. I'll give them some prompts like, where do you want to travel? What do you want to buy? What do you want? What are you going to ask Santa? I mean, they know about Santa and stuff, but still, what do you want as Christmas gift? What do you want for birthday gift? So that gives me an indication of what they believe is important to them and not me assuming what they want, right? So we do that activity as individuals that will help us to understand our individual desires, our individual goals. And then we take a big A3 paper and we do a family one where all of the desires or most of the desires and goals align together as a family. And that's how we chose Japan for our trip last year because all of us wanted to go to Japan. Okay. Now, this year we are having a little bit of a clash. Somebody wants to go to Italy, somebody wants to go to Egypt, and someone wants to go to South Korea. So we've got different things because we still haven't done the vision board. We're going to do it this weekend. So I think that's a great activity for us to understand that each of us have our own individual preferences. And just because we are partners, just because we are family, we can't force the desires on each other. So we meet at a common point. We have a sweet spot where all our desires and goals kind of combined and collide together. Okay, so I want you to understand this before you go and understand goal setting. This is a very common mistake, and make sure you do not make that mistake. Put yourself first. This is your vision board. Be as selfish as you want. I always say this, and this really throws a lot of people saying, when I say self care is not selfish, put yourself first. Like, I am the most important person in the world. I love me more than anybody, more than my husband, more than my dad, more than my kids. I love myself more. Okay. And it's not wrong. If people think I'm weird, let them think. I don't care. Like, nobody's opinion cuts me a check. So I want you to prioritize you unless you, the canvas, is not completely there in terms of physical health, mental health, spiritual health, monetary, financial freedom. You will not be able to support your loved ones in the most efficient way. So put yourself first. This is your vision board. The next half an hour or 1 hour, you're going to invest in just you, putting yourself first, and think, what's the best day of your life? How does your best life look like for you? Not what your husband wants, not what your kids want, not what your parents want. What do you want? How do you want to dress up? So things like that. Okay. So let's focus on you. Now, when it comes to vision boarding, what has historically worked and what I have seen work in my life, my clients, and the things that I've taught is always focus on the why. When people said this in the business world, I found it too cliche. I'm like, what do you mean focus on your why? Right. So understanding your why really, really helps. Everyone wants to make money, right? But the why behind it really, really helps to understand why you're chasing that. Otherwise, you'll just be chasing like a dog chasing its own tail, right? So when you want to lose weight, why? Is it just because you don't like the person you look in the mirror? You want to fit into good clothes? You want to run around? What do you want to do? So understand your why. It's very, very important. And always reverse engineering your goal, meaning break your goals into smaller chunks. Always have the end your particular endpoint, your target at the end, and then reverse engineer from there. Okay, and undergoaling is a concept my coach taught me, which is basically if you are aiming from a 0 to 100 on day one or day 10, it's going to help. I mean, it's not going to help you. It's going to make you go into self doubt and failure mode and, guilt and shame and everything else. So, undergoaling is you actually set a very realistic or an under realistic, like I don't know, it's called hyper realistic goal, where even if you can make $100,000, you set your goal as $75,000, and that you actually hit the goal in 3 months or 4 months or 6 months, then you can still, your brain releases all the dopamine, you get that hit, and then you start working from that place of victory, from the place where you've actually checked that box and smashed your goals, so you can actually start moving faster. So undergoaling is great if you're starting from scratch. If you are restarting from scratch in a new niche, pivoting, undergoing is a great way to build that evidence, and your brain will believe everything you say, anything you say. You just have to say the right thing. Okay. So, undergoing is a great way to start. If you're starting from scratch, or if you want to trick your brain into believing that this works. I never believed people would pay thousands of dollars of Instagram without seeing me until it happened to me. And you only believe what has happened to you in your life and what people tell you, right? It's not a fact, it's not proven. So if somebody's going to tell you this is not going to work, do not listen to them. Do not give them the power. I always believe words have so much power, so use them wisely. Okay, so this is the wheel of life, which most of you know. So you can actually write numbers on top of it, whatever is your highest factor. For example, if my physical and mental health is literally sitting out of 10, if I'm going to rank it 4, then that's going to be my top priority. Okay, if my financial and career is, say, in 3, which is even worse, then that's going to be my top priority. So you can prioritize this depending on what you want. But I normally like to set goals or anything in three major areas. So health, wealth, and relationship. So relationship can be relationship with yourself in terms of self-love, self-care, relationship with your parents, family, husband, children, society, networking, business relationship, clients, everything comes under that. Wealth is anything related to money. It could be your job, career shift. It could be starting a side hustle, growing your business, buying business, selling business, whatever. Health can be physical, mental, spiritual, whatever you want. Okay. So set three goals at this stage. I want you to set one goal each. Okay. Health goal, wealth goal, relationship goal. And then under that, I want you to write why. Okay, goal, put a hyphen and write the goal. And under that, why is this goal important to you? Okay. And then I want you to write one activity that you have to do every day to achieve that goal. Okay. For example, if I want to lose weight, I have to either go to the gym or hit 10,000 steps a day. So that's a must do activity every day to smash those health goals. Wealth goals, I can have one post every day on any social media platform. Okay. And relationship goal is probably 30 minutes to 1 hour every day with family without gadgets. So these are my three goals that I'll write it in a small sticky note, put it on the my computer or put it on the wall wherever I see it every day. So if I do these three things every day religiously for 365 days, for sure I'm going to achieve my health goal. I'm going to achieve my wealth goal. I'm going to achieve my relationship goal. So I want you to break it down into just one thing. Keep it simple. Just one thing that you can do every day, all day, 7 days of the week, 30 days in a month, and 365 days in a year. So you can achieve those goals. So take the next 5 minutes to write down your goals, why is that goal important to you, and what's one must do non-negotiable activity to hit those goals under all these three categories. Now go wild. Okay. I told you about the reverse engineering principle and how you can break down massive goals into smaller goals, bite sized goals, which your brain will believe it's doable. Okay. So it can be a wealth goal. For example, just for calculation purposes, if my annual income goal is $120,000, okay, every month, then I divide it by 12, I get $10,000. So my monthly income goal, I have to make $10,000 every month to get to 120K in 1 year. And then I break it down further into weekly goals, which is $2,500 every week. All right. Now, when I think 120,000, it seems big number. So $2,500 every week also might make me roll my eyes, maybe, right? So what's the other way to trick your brain to do this in a very, very simpler way is to identify what's your average value per client. For example, if every client for me is worth $5,000, okay, how many clients do I need to get that 120,000? So 24 clients I need, right? I hope that my math is right. So 24 clients for my annual goals. And then when I break it into monthly goals, I need two clients every month, which means I need one client every fortnight. Or, even if I nurture somebody in the first week and then the invoice is paid in the second week, then that's done. So I need only two clients every month. Imagine if I'm going to tell my brain $2,500 every week, $2,500 every week, that might even put a stress. Now, in my mind, I know I'm not going to work for somebody less than 5 grand a month. So I mean, 5 grand a job. So I'm just going to think I just need two clients a month. Okay, that's easy. 30 days, I just need two clients. So when you think or when you give the opportunity for your brain to think it's possible, then it's doable. Okay, so break it down into this. There might be some businesses you have multiple offers, multiple pricing, different kind of products. You can do this for the same. So you can literally put different branches, offer one or product one. What's the pricing? How many do I need to sell of product one to get to this particular goal? Okay, product two. So whatever is the highest value with least efforts. Okay, I can get 120,000 by selling, $100 product to 1,200 people. Or the other way, I can sell $1,200 product for 100 people. I would rather prefer option two, where I'm going to sell $1,200 value product to 100 people. Trust me, the lower the money, more is the drama. Okay, the higher the pay, you get the quality of people, which is not always the case. There are a few exceptions, but in most cases, that's the one. So I want you to pause now and break down your annual income goal. The reason I focus so much on the wealth aspect, though health is important, relationship is important, I strongly believe money definitely positions you in a better place to deal with any curveball life throws at you. So that's why my focus is always about financial independence, especially women. You can be in a very happy relationship, you can be in the best family environment, but financially independent women is not a negotiable one, according to me. Every woman has to be financially independent in some shape or form. You don't even need the money, but it will fulfill you in other aspects as well. Okay, that's why I started this Indian company and I train Indian women to become virtual assistants because that's my passion project. I don't make any money out of that. It's only a passion project. I do it. It's not my bread and butter. I make my money using my Australian company. My VAs is more of my impact and influence. My income is from my Australian company. So do this exercise, break down your annual income goal, go wild. Don't limit yourself to having a humble number there, go wild. I would have put 1 million here. But then, I was mindful about the audience that I had for the workshop from different countries, different backgrounds. So I just had a nominal number here. Just go wild with your, dreams and goals, and do not hesitate to have a big number there. No judgments. Before we go on and do the actual workshop with the templates that I've provided you, I want to share with you my 10 commandments to any manifestation masterclass or vision boarding exercise and, goal setting workshops. These are the 10 things that I share with people. So, the very first thing is to focus on positive self talk. Okay. We are very kind to everyone else but us. Okay. Think about the thoughts that goes into your head. I'm a firm believer in the Life Coach School podcast, Brooke Castillo's framework. Thoughts create results. I know Stacey Bayman has built $1 million empire just based on that framework and so many others, but I love Stacey. So the fact that your brain believes anything you say, I want you to focus on a positive self-talk every day. For the next 30 days, watch every word that you say, every thought that you think about yourself and others, and just make sure you're not thinking anything negative. You're not thinking anything rude or anything bad. Just focus on positive self-talk when it comes to you. You will see your life change dramatically. Okay. And the way I say this is because I know in my personal life, and people have known, when I climb 2 steps up, this is the visual in my head. Okay. So there's a wall and I'm climbing like a lizard, 2 steps up. There are 10 hands that drag me down 10 steps. Okay. Again, I pull myself together and then I move up 2 steps and then 10 hands drag me down again. So this is a cycle. Life is never a linear graph. So unless I have that positivity and belief in me, I cannot do this. I cannot do this for 4 decades. Okay, now you know my age. So that's really clearly because of the positive self-talk. Okay. So next is declutter. So I mentioned the workshop. I should include digital and social as well. So in terms of physical space, make sure it's clutter free. It really really impacts, your work environment, your mental health, and then digital, your phone. Okay, you literally sit and declutter all your unused apps, the amount of apps you have, amount of photos you have. People, if they're going to give you a negative aftertaste, just block them. Okay, unfriend, block would be your best friend. I mean, I don't know, hundreds of people are blocked on my contact list on WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. Okay, it's the easiest way to restore your mental health. Okay, so digital detox, social detox, it's very, very, very essential. Okay. And next, I really want to focus on this one. Most women are proud multitaskers. I used to be one. But what happens when you're multitasking? Your productivity decreases exponentially, I should say. So I used to track my productivity or my time on a sheet where every 30 minutes of my time was tracked. Now, what happens in those 30 minutes is For me to mentally switch from one task to the other takes time. So I was only checking the clock and I was not being productive. So I really try to focus on the one thing method, which is if I'm going to do content creation, I'm going to go all in on content creation. Now I would record 2 or 3 episodes back to back when I'm in that zone to record podcast or YouTube. Right. So definitely if you're in that zone, it becomes faster to create it. So when I'm all dressed up, I want to do a video, I might as well focus 4 hours in getting all my videos done. Doesn't matter if I'm on the same top, if I'm wearing the same clothes. No one cares. I mean, I don't care. Okay, so focus on one thing at least for a period of time. So you get out of that, and then I usually go have a shower to mentally switch my brain to the next task, or do something else to take a break and shift to the next one. Time equals money, so use your time very, very wisely. And then the next one is the 3 activities that we wrote for health, wealth, and relationship must do non negotiable activity on a sticky note. Focus on that every day. Okay, so that's one thing. And then journaling. So there are 2 aspects of journaling. That's why I have them as separate points. It's important to plan in your journal, plan for the next day or the same day in the morning, and then reflect. Because if you're just keeping on planning, you're not giving yourself the opportunity to reflect on what worked, what didn't work, what you could have done better. But if you're more of a reflection person, just sitting and reflecting on, oh, this didn't work, oh, that didn't work, oh, this was great, that was great, you're not planning enough. You're just going into an overthinking mode. There's a fine balance between both. I do it together. Some people like to do the reflection at the end of the day, start planning their day, in the early in the morning. I like to do it together at the end of the day. I want to be prepared. Next day, I want to know who am I meeting, what's the purpose of the meeting, what am I doing, whether I can just take a day off or whether I can just spend some time with family, whether I'm going shopping. I have to know the previous day so I can set my mind right. So that's why journal are 2 different points. You have to reflect on what's worked, what didn't work, what you can do better, and then plan from there. So, it kind of works synchronously. And then I am a big believer in energetic alignment. Anything that I do, okay, any meeting that I have, in the first 3 minutes, I can say if it's going to be a good use of my hour or half an hour or not. So energetic alignment can be anything, even pricing your product. When I'm on a sales call with somebody, and if I'm going to charge them 10 grand, and I don't believe that I bring value for $10,000 to the table, I will be literally shivering and struggling, right? I used to stammer saying $1,000 back in 2019. Like I never believed people would pay thousands of dollars, right? So $1,000 was a ripoff for me. And I would stammer, I would struggle, my hands would shiver when I say $1,000. Now, I mean, any amount I say because I'm energetically aligned. I know the value I bring to the table. I know the return on investment for that money. So you have to feel energetically aligned to every activity that you do. Okay, I gave an example in the workshop wearing a sleeveless, dress. So I don't wear sleeveless because I'm not comfortable with my arms. So, but if I'm going to force myself to wear one, then I'm really not going to be comfortable, and I'm going to be fiddling with my arms. I'm going to be very conscious when I take photos. So that's a simple thing where you have to feel energetically aligned with the clothes you wear, the way you present yourself. So check your energy and alignment in every activity, every thought, every connection you make in the online world, offline world. If you're watching at somebody's Instagram story, Facebook story, YouTube video, and it's making you feel insecure, if it's making you feel intimidated, stop watching them. Because that's not a good energy you want to bring into your house. Okay. Bringing into the house, very important. I do not entertain a lot of people into my house. Okay. In fact, very, very minimum. So I'm very particular about the energy people bring into my home. So I do not invite a lot of people. I don't host a lot of people. And I think everybody should have that energetic boundary when it comes to their home, when it comes to their professional environment, even networking meetings. I'm very particular about who I talk to, what I do. So I think my boundaries are very strong these days, but it depends on how much you want to protect your energy. For me, energy and time, very valuable. Okay. Next, this is an interesting concept where a lot of people believe in affirmations. I believe in embodiment technique. Affirmations are very superficial, just according to me. When I just close my eyes and listen to affirmations like, I'm beautiful, I'm intelligent, I'm enough, in my head, I go, no, you're not. So I believe in embodiment technique, which in simple words, if I have to explain, it's like dress for the job you want, not the job you have. Okay. So embodiment is the way you show up, the way you behave, even when you're not there yet. My bank account might be zero. I might have zero clients, but when I walk into a room, I walk in like the business owner that I want to be seen as. Okay. You're not faking it till you make it. That's not embodiment. A lot of people ask me that and say, no, that's not what it is. But you're energetically there where you want to be. If I want to be a 7 figure, 8 figure entrepreneur, I behave like one. I already am in the mindset as one. Okay. And I'm in that particular journey of transitioning to that person. So I'm already embodying the version of me as a 7 figure or an 8 figure entrepreneur, not the one I am today. Okay. And the simplest trick I can give you to get the most out of your work day is schedule everything on calendar. Everything, reviewing something, even scrolling on Facebook. You want to scroll on Facebook for half an hour? Do it. Put it on calendar and go to that half an hour and start scrolling on Facebook and do whatever you want. Okay. That'll help you to audit how you're investing your time, what you're doing with your time. Okay. And the next is the most important thing, especially for women. We have a lot of guilt and shame around things, even setting goals, even asking for things, wanting our needs, our desires. There should be no shame and guilt when you're doing this vision board exercise. It's your vision, it's your dream. And if you want to be in a bikini, put it right there. Okay. There's no shame and guilt. It's not anyone else's dream. I want to be in a bikini, but probably next year I'll have it. To this time, I'm only having the vision of running. I want to run. Okay. Maybe a half marathon. I'm thinking, are you crazy? But why not? Okay, is it's in my head. Why not? So I've got in my vision board that I've done a picture of a woman running. I want to run because that's the biggest exercise that I want to do, and it's sustainable. Anywhere I can just have a shoes and I can start running. I don't have to depend on gym. Okay. So be kind to yourself. Do not associate guilt and shame with any of your desires and any of your needs or wants or dreams or vision. Okay. I want you to give this particular, I want to set the stage right for you to understand that there's nothing wrong with anything. If you are seen as weird, it's people's perception. You're not being weird. Okay, so in the show notes and description, I have given links to Canva links as templates that you can use. You can change it to whatever you want. Okay, if your focus is travel, choose travel photos. So the way I want you to have those images on the vision board is everything that will help you to achieve your goals. Okay, it can be your picture, it can be copyright-free images from Canva. Put it together. Use those templates are a guide. You can use them to create your own, put it on your desktop wallpaper, put it on mobile. I've literally chosen my mobile wallpaper before half an hour, and it's there right now. And I'm going to be having it, looking at it every day. And when you unlock your phone 100 times a day, you're going to look at it and it's going to trigger and keep your memory fresh about the vision board that you created. So you always have that vision in your mind. Okay. I really wish 2025 is going to be an exciting year filled with good health, amazing wealth, and lots of loving relationships with yourself and others around you. I wish each and every one of you a very, very prosperous new year, 2025. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact. All the contact details are in the show notes below. So write to me if you like this episode, comment or give me a shout out on Instagram. And I am super grateful for this opportunity to teach you how to do your vision board. And I'll see you all in the next episode.